right, a big trend, at least a few years back, in fat loss circles or nutritionist cycle is to favor a lot of small feedings throughout the day. At first, like many years ago, the normal recommendation was 3 meals a day. Then eventually it became 4 to 5, and it reached a peak at one point. They were actually recommending 6 to 8 very small meals a day. Now the argument was that it kept a more stable blood sugar level, it kept hunger at bay. Well, in reality, it really doesn't matter. I mean, several studies have been conducted since then, and they've shown that at an equal nutritional intake, so same calories, same nutritional breakdown, the results were the same regardless of the number of feedings throughout the day. Now, the argument that eating more often will keep hunger at bay really doesn't hold true for everybody. For example, myself, I am more of I call it like a binge eating pattern guy. I'm not saying that I'm binging out, although I did gain 26 pounds in 6 hours at one point. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is that I naturally favor larger meals less often. Why? Because if I don't feel satisfied after a meal, it just makes me want more. So for me, let's say I have a very unsatisfactory meal because it's a small meal. Even though I'm eating another small meal in 2 or 3 hours, I will spend those 2 or 3 hours like being hungry, thinking about food, making the diet unbearable. I was never as unhappy as when I followed a typical bodybuilding diet of 6 to 8 small meals a day. It's exactly as if my wife would tease me in the bedroom, and just when I'm ready to go, she walks away, doing that 6 times a day. We would have divorced about 9 years and a half ago, and we've been married for 9. So really, the optimal eating patterns, how many meals you eat during the day, depends on your natural feeding frequency. Are you someone who likes to eat larger meals? If that's the case, you might do well on only 3 meals a day, sometimes 3. Oftentimes, I will eat only 2 meals a day with maybe like some very light snacks here and there. I even did intermittent fasting, so only eating at the end of the day for years, and did very well on that because of my binging nature. But if someone is more of a nibbler, so they like to have very frequent but small meals because they don't have that much appetite, then a more frequent meal structure will work best for them. I have a friend who's a competitive bodybuilder, and IFBB pro in fact. He really doesn't have much of an appetite. It might take him like 40 minutes to eat 6 ounces of chicken and some broccoli. So for him, telling him, well, you have to have like 3 big meals a day, it wouldn't work, because he doesn't have the appetite to eat that one big meal. So in this case, he doesn't have a choice but to eat those 6 small meals a day. Remember that it's all about getting those nutrients in, and go with your true nature. That's why when I start to work with clients, I always ask them to write down their nutritional journal. So over a week period, write down everything they eat and the time they eat it. Not only because I want to see their natural food preferences, but I want to see their natural eating pattern. And I try to work with that so it doesn't go against their nature. Remember, the more you go against your nature in anything, the greater the stress response, the lesser the results.